Okay, go ahead. Introduce yourself, and then let's hear from you.
All right.
Who are you? What do you do? Give us a success story, and then launch right in.
Okay. My name is LaTonya Renee. I am an author, producer, actress, model, writer, and entrepreneur and creative leadership strategist. Everything else is pretty much, self-explanatory. But as a creative leadership strategist, it is my job to help moms and wives complete to their fulfillment by helping them achieve their career and financial goals, all while maintaining a healthy balance between work and family. So that's me, guys. Hi. Gonna go ahead and share my screen. So today I'm just gonna talk with you guys for a few minutes. My topic today is a woman's DNA, how we present ourselves on the outside versus what we hide on the inside. I already did the about me. So we're going to talk about perception. Now, this is the computer is going crazy. This is the perception based on how we as women perceive ourselves and how the world perceives us as well. So what's expected from us? We're expected to be a lovely bride. We're expected to have dinner ready every day, be in our best shape, clean, worship or meditate in some capacity. Let me minimize the window. Work. We're supposed to make sure that we're making our spouses happy. We're supposed to help our children with homework. We're also mandated to take care of our parents. And the craziest thing about all of this is I just put together 9 little pieces, but we're supposed to be all these things every single day. That's what's expected from us. That's how we're supposed to look doing those things. But this is the reality of it. This is what's happened to us, or what is happening to us right now. Some of us have experienced some type of trauma growing up. So we're literally still dealing with what happened to us as a child, and we were not allowed or felt comfortable enough talking about it. So those issues were never addressed. Some of us have experienced some type of physical abuse in our homes by our loved ones. We're struggling to make sure that we stay fit in the way that society expects from us and the demand that we put on ourselves. We're constantly juggling between taking care of the kids, making sure that things are ready. Like, look at this lady in this picture. Like, she is literally breastfeeding, cooking, and helping someone with homework. Then we have women in the workplace. We're constantly in rooms with men or predominantly white settings where we feel pressured and uncomfortable to elevate, or feel like that we can't elevate in that world, or sexually always being harassed, but you don't want to be the one to speak up because then they're going to label you as a victim and you're just trying to make a scene because, that's what women do. Some of us deal with afflictions or sickness or diseases and addictions. Some of us deal with fertility issues or finance issues, and just the idea of it doesn't matter if we're married with kids, married or single parents, some of us still feel alone and depressed. So that's more of reality of what life looked like. I'm just gonna scroll through right quick just to let us sink this in. It may be you, it may be someone that you know, but you might can identify with 1 or 2 or 3 of these pictures, because this is the reality that we face each and every day. So now I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about my story and how I tried to self-sabotage myself. And most of us have been in this position as well. So my trauma would start off when I was younger. I grew up with my great-grandmother. It was her, myself, my big brother, and my uncle living in a 2-trailer home. a 2-bedroom trailer home. And in one room, it was me, my great grandmother, and my brother. And my brother slept on a cot. My uncle had a room all by himself, but he had epilepsy, so no one even wanted to share a room with him. And despite how we were living, I was such a happy kid. I was unaware that we were quote unquote poor. And then I moved with my mom when I was 12. She got married, and I initially um, overnight got a stepfather and a stepbrother where I didn't feel appreciated. My stepbrother like tortured me every single day, whether it was calling me names, random pranks. It was just a very horrible experience. But I wasn't allowed to share my experiences because then I came off as the young girl who wasn't appreciative. It's like, oh, you're with your mom now. You should be happy. Oh, you went from a 2-bedroom house to this massive 2-story house. You should be happy. Oh, who cares that your stepfather treats your stepbrother better than you because at least you have a father now. So those are the little things that I was going through. And as you can see, I never mentioned a father because my father did not exist. I didn't feel comfortable until I was 21 years old to ask my mom, like, who is my dad? And because I was missing that love and that affection that I felt like I deserved, then I became promiscuous at the age of 17, and I became a mother at the age of 17. Who says you can't get pregnant the first, the second, or third time? They lie, because it happened. Fast forward a couple years after I had my daughter. Now, granted, I asked my mom at the age of 21, who's my father, but it took her 5 years to tell me the truth. So that was also a weird thing, but we're good. Everything's good now. So when I met the love of my life at the age of 21, I had a 3-year-old, and this is where the self-sabotaging began. When I got pregnant, I became the person in the community that people didn't want to be around. They told their children, oh, don't be like Tanya. You want to go through high school and, go to college. You don't want to be a single parent. You don't want to be the whore. I went to church. I got kicked off the choir. I had to stand in front of the church and tell everybody what I've done. It was just a very, very uncomfortable and sad times in my life. So when I met the man that I'm married to now, all I could see for myself was my past, what I went through, what people said about me, and I believed those things. So every time our relationship progressed, I did something because I didn't feel worthy of his love. I started a fight and ended the relationship at least 10 times in the first year. Granted, he was a virgin when we met. So whenever I saw myself with him, he was just so pure. And I considered myself the devil. Like I literally, whenever I would stand next to him, I felt dirty. I felt like I was always dressed in all red or all black. And it was crazy because I was obviously not the devil, but these are the things that I fed myself because of the things that I heard, because of the trauma that I went through, and because I never got to experience, the love from my dad, the truth from my mother. Yeah, crazy stuff. So that's my story of self-sabotage. So the purpose of me speaking with you all today is just so that you can be aware of how you may be self-sabotage, say that 3 times, self-sabotaging yourself based on what people may have said about you, based on your past, because we all are not our past. Our past helps shapes us, but it does not define us. So here are 3 simple ways on how to learn how to separate and grow. So first, we all have to know our worth. Now, you may have experienced or know a friend that's been physically abused. I used to work with this young lady, and it's so weird because we worked at the police station together, and you would think because she was always surrounded by lawyers and cops that she would cry out for help. But she did the complete opposite. She made so much excuses of why she deserved to be treated that way. So every day we worked together, and this is before I even became the woman that I am now. I used to always encourage and speak to her. And what I realized while I was talking is she had no idea what she was worth. She felt like she deserved that. And it wasn't even the first time that she was in an abusive relationship. This was the second one. But in her head, she said, well, this guy, you know, got me a place to stay and taking care of my kids. And I would look at her and say, but sweetheart, just because he's doing better than the last guy doesn't mean that he's doing good by you, because no one deserves to be hurt in any capacity whatsoever by someone who claims they love you. People that love you, it goes so much beyond words. It's actually, can you look at them? Can you examine your life? And it doesn't even have to be a spouse, a boyfriend. Like, it could literally be a parent. It could be a friend. It could be a neighbor. If people are around you in your circle right now, and you look at them and give them all a test based on an evaluation that you create, and if they're not treating you like you deserve to be treated, then they should not be welcome in your circle. I wrote a book a few years ago, and it talked about relationships. Like, every relationship that you're in, it needs to be a healthy one. If you're not in a healthy relationship, then the relationship needs to end. And there's this saying that, oh, blood is thicker than water. Yeah, so what? Just because you're related to me doesn't give you a right to treat me out of who I am. And it doesn't matter if you're a teenage mom. It doesn't matter if you're a recovering alcoholic. That stuff is old. Like, get over it. You don't deserve to be treated by your past. You deserve to be treated based on who you are today. And if you're struggling with anything, then so what? Still, they need to treat you with respect because you're elevating and you're trying to get to the next level. So know your worth. If anybody in your circle is not treating you like the queen you are, then they need to be eliminated from your circle, not in life. The next thing, how to separate your past and grow, is acknowledging your pain. Your pain is real. It doesn't matter. A lot of people like to say, well, you know, he just yells at me. You know, it's not like he's beating me. That's still painful. That's still wrong. Your pain is not measured with how someone else is being affected in life. Your pain is your pain. It doesn't matter if it seems small to someone else. Your pain is your pain. And as soon as we first know what we're worth, and second, acknowledge that, you know what, maybe I was hurt. You know, it wasn't right that, you know, my mom allowed, and this, I'm not talking about my life at the moment. I'm just, you know, hypothetically speaking. It doesn't matter if your mom allowed your uncle to touch you way back when. If it hurt you, which it should have, or if you put it back in your self-conscious, bring it forward and then just go speak to her. We have to acknowledge who hurt us and how we were hurt, so we won't allow those things to continually affect us in life. And then lastly, we have to seek assistance. If you need help with children and you're married, then you should be able to communicate with your spouse and say, hey, honey, you know, I have something going on later, or I have to plan for something else, so I need you to take care of the kids tonight. If you have suffered a trauma or currently suffering a trauma, then reach out and seek assistance from a therapist, from a friend if you're not ready to talk to the therapist yet, but you have to talk about it. We cannot continue as women to push things under the rug. There's this thing we women do, is we want to make sure that everyone else is taken care of first. But what I've come to realize is that we could never, ever take care of someone else in the capacity that they deserve until we're taking care of ourselves first. So it's great that we're accomplishing these things, but are we accomplishing them to the fullest? Are we living up to our best potential? So if you aren't, or if you know someone that isn't, definitely seek assistance and tell them it's okay to ask for help. If you need help with work so that you can elevate in your workspace, then reach out and ask for help, whatever capacity. It doesn't even have to come out of negativity like the example that I gave earlier. If you're dealing with children and you have a spouse or whatever, then it's okay. Ask a neighbor. I had a client a couple of months ago, and I asked her, you know, because I focus on wives and moms and help create a healthy balance. And I noticed while we were talking that she wasn't dating. She was married. I'm like specifically talking about dating her husband. She wasn't doing that. So I asked her, when's the last time you was on a date? And she was like, oh, my mom came to visit me last year and she watched the baby while my husband and I went on a date. And I'm like, that is not good. So her assignment the assignment that I gave her is that she needed to reach out to a few people that she knew of and ask them, hey, you know, if my husband and I go on a date in the future, would you be someone that potentially could watch my child? Of course, if you're free. And Lord and behold, she created a list. By the next week, she had 3 people that said, yes, I will watch your child. And guess what? She's been dating more, even though it's COVID going on. She's been dating more now than she did in the last year. So it's okay for us as women to know we can't do everything. We are excellent at multitasking, but we still can't do everything to the best of our abilities if we're trying to handle everything within ourselves. So it's definitely okay to ask for help. Now, there might be some of you that's not ready to, or don't know how to make sure that we know our worth, or you might not be ready to speak to someone yet, or you might not ready to own your pain. Well, this is what I say. There's this saying that says, fake it until you make it. I say, faith it until you make it. And that's by telling yourself, there's a trick that one of my coaches taught me a while ago. She said, whenever I'm going through something, ask myself, is this 2020 LaTonya or 2025 LaTonya? And I'm like, wow, that's pretty powerful. So that I wanted to, she said it was okay to share it in some of my talking. So I wanted to tell you guys, faith it until you make it. Ask your future self, when you're going through something and you're trying to figure out, can I get to this next level? Then say, is this 2020 me or 2025 me? Because 2025 you're already there. You've already broke through of your trauma. You've already opened up to your parents, your friends, or whomever hurt you. You've already experienced that. You already know who you are. So when you're going through a moment that's bringing you back, trying to put you in that shell like a turtle again, then ask yourself, what would 2025 do? And then go through there. And that's how you faith it until you make it, by establishing confidence and believing in yourself. And every morning when you wake up, you look in that mirror and you say, I am powerful. And that's because you are. If you are on the religious side, then there are definitely some scriptures. You know, I was faithfully and wonderfully made. If you're not religious, there's definitely a lot of sayings out there. You could be that person that write it on sticky notes and put it on your windows or wherever you sit on the computer. I actually had someone that went as far and put reminders in her phone, and every hour she got, whether it was a scripture, an affirmation, just speaking into who she is so that she can show up. So definitely faith it until you make it. Now, this is one of my favorite slides. Know that you are a girl. And what that means is, hey, if you're muted, that's fine. If you're not, if you want to stay in your head, then you should say something like, I am gorgeous. I am irreplaceable. I deserve respect. And I am legit. That is an acronym that I came up with about 2 years ago. I was just doing some research. Well, what makes a girl a girl? And this is who we all are. It doesn't matter when it says gorgeous. This is gorgeous in your eyes. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. We all are gorgeous. Like me, I got big lips, big nose, big eyes. You know what? Whatever. I own my own space. Whatever it is that's going on, you own it. I did a seminar a while back and I told people, like, if there's something about your body that you're not comfortable with and you can change it, then change it. It might be a little harder for some than others, but if it can be changed, then change it. I'm not talking about drastically cut stuff off. I'm just saying other things, like my daughter suffers with acne and she had it severely bad. So we had to go through a very extraneous treatment to make sure, and it's because she wanted to be happy. It has nothing to do with what LaTonya wanted or what other people were perceiving her. What made her happy was she wanted to get rid of her acne. So if you have something going on in your life and your body that you can physically change that's bothering you, then change it. No need to complain. No one want to be caught up in all of that, because if you're complaining, then that means you're insecure, which means that's the energy you give off, and the energy you give off is how people are going to treat you. So you are gorgeous. And if it's not something that you can change, then embrace it. I did research a while ago about, was it the nose? Oh, I can't even think about it. I should have thought about it before I came here today. But I did research on a nose one time, and it gave positive statements and reflection of if people with larger nose are more blank. I don't remember what that is, but do some research about yourself. So if someone will point something out about you, you'd be like, yeah, that's okay. I have big ears, but guess what? Da 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 da. Own who you are, because you are gorgeous. The next one is you are irreplaceable. There's not one individual out the billions of people in this universe that could replace you. There is something so uniquely about who you are, based on your surroundings, based on your past, based on your DNA, that no one else, no matter how much they're tried. I've studied identical twins, but yet there is something unique about them that separates them. So you are not replaceable. So as long as you know that you're gorgeous and there's nothing any other female can do to replace you, sweetheart. Oh, okay, let me calm down. Gorgeous and irreplaceable. Next one, you deserve respect. Doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter what you do. Every single person that encounters you deserves to, needs to respect you. And you have to own it and walk in that truth. As long as you're giving off, like I said, this energy, this vibe, even if you're faithing it till you make it, you step in the room, they'll be like, whoa, I'm sorry, who are you? What's your name? Yeah, they deserve, you deserve the respect. So I'm going back so I can make sure that everyone understands you are gorgeous, you are irreplaceable, and you deserve respect. And finally, the L is legit. Everything about you is real, and you are who you are. So again, you are a girl. You are gorgeous, you are irreplaceable, you deserve respect, and you are definitely legit. One of my favorite sayings when I coach clients is be the star you are. If you ever had an opportunity to learn anything about stars, they're all different colors. They're actually different shapes. They don't look like the star thing that they teach you in school. They shine different brightness. And this actually goes along the lines of knowing that you are irreplaceable, because there is no two stars that are identical. Each little star are amazing in its own little way. So now, knowing that you are a girl, now you're also a star. You shine to the brightest that you can shine. As long as you're owning that and living in that truth and knowing your worth, I'm telling you, you will become untouchable. Walt Disney came up with this saying that I put it in almost everything because I think it's the best thing in the world. All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you. Again, this is a quote from Walt Disney. What this means to me is that one of my gifts, I have a gift of gab, talk too much. When I was younger, I would always get in trouble for talking. Who knew that people would now pay to hear me speak, you know? It's like we don't realize when we're going through things in life, it's actually shaping us and molding us to be our best selves. And again, we don't realize that. Let's just use Gabrielle Union. I don't know if you guys know her. She's a successful actress, one of the people that I admire. She was raped. While she was being raped, do you think she was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a great story one day. You know, I'm going to bless people. I'm going to help people. Of course not. But that, when she was physically assaulted, sexually assaulted, in the guts, the outspokenness that she took, the position that she took to allow the person that attacked her, you do not own me. No matter how much you hurt me at that moment, I am still worth way more than that. I am an overcomer, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that you have no power over me. I'm not going to replay this. I'm not going to go somewhere and cry in a hole and woe is me, which I'm not saying that anything is wrong with any one of those scenarios, because we all go through things differently, and you have to acknowledge your pain. You have to go through those things. But the point is, you have to come out on the other side. And because of that fight, that drive that she had to make sure that she didn't stay down, she used that same drive, that same passionate to be successful. If she if she didn't experience that, she wouldn't have even known that she had the drive, that she had this tenacity about herself to say, you know what, no matter how much time someone tells me, no matter how much time somebody tells me no, I'm going to keep going until I get what I need to get out of it. So again, all the adversity you've had in your life, all of the troubles and obstacles, they were only meant to strengthen you. And of course, you didn't realize it then, but a kick in your teeth was the best thing in the world for you. So this particular slide didn't show up on my husband's computer. So I'm going to end it with rise and be the star you are, but I'm going to read it off of another screen. And this is the declaration that you're going to make to yourself and everyone who's waiting for you. And I say that because whenever we know our worth, we are our own stars, we are girls, and we don't allow our past to dictate how we're going to show up in the world. Once we get through that, and once we're owning our own steps and showing up, there are people that are literally waiting for you to show up. They're waiting for you to own your truth. They're waiting so that they can do the same things for themselves. So this is something that I came up with. I'm just going to read it, but this is a declaration that I created so that we could commit to ourselves and everyone who's waiting. So it says, from this day forward, I promise to be a girl. I promise to seek help and support when needed to get over all obstacles. I promise to never allow my obstacles to hold me back, but to propel me to my purpose. I do this for all of you. It's because of you I will keep pressing. It's for you that I have to fulfill my destiny. I forgive myself. I forgive you. I love myself. I love you. I am a star. You are a star. Now I'm ready to embrace my DNA and own my reality. Thank you, ladies, so much for having me here today. And I hope that you all will rise and be the star you are and help others to do the same.
All right, nice. All right, ladies, any questions, any comments?
I just wanted to thank her. That was awesome. Very awesome. And she did a great job. And I definitely enjoyed it.
Thank you, Ms. Robin.
Very nice.
Where can we get a copy of your girl things so I can post it on my wall?
Oh, sure. Yes, ma'am.
LaTonya, I can relate to something that you were talking about as far as negative people in your space.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been in Charleston for 4 years, and it's been a pretty constant struggle about making ends meet. So I'm always thinking of, I need another job, I need another job. So of course I've been brainstorming as to what I wanted to do. And I have a sister who lives in New Jersey, married, 2 kids, perfect family, yada, 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 all that crap. Now, I'm single, I'm on my own, no kids, no husband. So it's me or it doesn't happen.
Right.
So when I told her about the idea of starting my own my floral arrangement business, she basically put the kibosh on it. And she said, I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know what's going on down there. I don't know why you think you can go ahead and start a flower business. First, you were thinking about becoming a baker and opening a bakery. Now you're thinking of becoming a florist. What in the world's going on? I don't understand. So she basically just put the whole kibosh on it.
Right.
And I said, Corinne, I've got to go. Click. I didn't talk to her for 6 months.
My God.
And we used to talk all the time. But the sad thing is, she didn't even realize what she did.
Wow.
She never apologized. She never noticed that I hadn't talked to her in 6 months. I mean, it was just like, boy, she's in her own world. She doesn't care. I mean, nothing. So it was, Vicky's doing this on her own, literally on her own. And excuse me for saying this, to hell with everybody else. If this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. Encourage me. I don't care if you're lying out your ass. Encourage it.
You can do it.
It's really nice of you. I'm doing it myself.
Well, good for you for not letting her, for taking control of the conversation and ending it. Like
Yeah.
No one deserved to hear all that. Like, okay, yeah, no one asked.
I finally put my foot down.
This is good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Comments,